Better? Okay. Here we go. We're going to try this again because I didn't have any space on my phone for more filming. So, I'm doing an impromptu video. It's a horse tour. I'm going to talk a little bit about Firefly's physical progress and where we still have areas that we need to work on. I've been doing a lot of homework on horse nutrition and body condition and fitness for horses and things like that. So I've changed up his exercise routine. Actually, I guess just added an exercise routine. And there's my boy. My boy. He's a little sick of me now, huh? You sick of me? We just spent 2 hours working out. So he's probably a little bit tired. But yes. So yeah, and just for starters, yes, I'm wearing the beanie again, and yes, I'm wearing the Espanola shirt because that's what I wear when I go out to the barn. Sue me. I'm also wearing knockoff Uggs. So whatever, because that's what I wear out here. Because I'm not riding, so there's really no point in fully decking out. But I want to talk to you a little bit about his body condition, where we're at, and the grain he was on, and what he's on now, and all that fun stuff. So, for starters, when I purchased him, he was on hay and sweet feed only. And the sweet feed was a 12%, which we all know is not great to be only the only supplement. And when I bought him, he was underweight. His body condition, he was probably a 3 on the scale of 1 to 9, with 9 being obese and 1 being emaciated. So he was a 3 when I got him. He's probably about a 4 now, but I'll talk to you about why I think that. So yes, you're a good boy. A little bit sweaty, which is good. You worked up a sweat. So, what we've been doing lately, so he was on sweet feed, like I said, and I had added calf manna to it to improve the quality, as it were, and it worked wonders. It really did help him put on a little bit of weight, but it wasn't quite enough, because the forage I have, he had pasture, but the forage was, ouch, ow, don't bite, no. The forage we had was low quality, so he's licking my hand. I added the calf manna, but it wasn't quite doing the trick. And now that I've read a little bit more about horse nutrition, excuse me, young man, I have changed up his grain. I didn't want to do it right off the bat because I didn't want to make him sick. So it's been about 6 months. Actually, today is our 6-month mark together. And so I changed up his food. I bought him a complete feed and some black oil sunflower seeds. So the complete feed has beet pulp, and it's got forage, and it's pelleted. So it can be used for the only thing they eat. But he is, in addition to the grain, or I guess the grain is in addition to him receiving 4 to 5 flakes a day. And then I take him out. He has pasture, access to a pasture all day. But it's cold. It's, so there's not a whole lot, and he's eating it down pretty good. So I actually take him out. If you notice behind us is a ton of grass. So I take him out on the lead and I let him eat that. Please don't bite my legs. Would you not bite my pants? If anyone knows that, fine. I'm so stupid. So that's what I take him out to do. I take him out for a few hours to graze on that. And then we work out now together. So I will talk a little bit about his body condition, why why he's not 100%, and yeah. So everyone understands body condition, I'm assuming, but I'll go over it at least briefly. The body condition score, I forget what the test is actually called, or the chart is created by Hennessy or something like that. And it's basically just a way to tell a horse's body condition. Like I said, 1 is severely underweight and 9 is severely overweight. Most horses will fall into 5 or 7, like 5 to 7 is okay depending on the horse. Certain breeds will hold fat deposits in different places, so they don't fall on the scale the same way as other horses. So like I said, 5 to 7 is usually what's considered normal and good for horses. Like you might look at an Akaltik horse, and you're going to look at them and not judge them the same as you're judging like a Shire. You know, they're going to look much different, but you're looking for fat deposits and things like that. So for starters, the neck. And you can't really tell here, but what they do is they'll actually feel along the neckline here, along the crest, looking for fat deposits. So when I'm running my hand up and down Firefly's neck, he has a decent amount of fat in here. Right where my thumb is ending is where the fat line is ending. So he doesn't have a lot, but he's got more development here than he did when I first got him. So based on that alone, he's doing okay in his neck area. Yes, we see you. You're precious. I know. So, and then along through here, he's got a lot more muscle development than he had. Stop. So he's doing a lot better here. I actually have stretches that I've been doing for muscle development that the vet recommended to me, and that a chiropractor for horses recommended to me. So a lot, what you do is you make them bring their nose around. You make them bring their nose around to back here, and you try to get them to stretch their neck, like bend it, like, you know, when they have horses, give them a hug, same thing. So you have them bend their necks, and you do it five times each way, you know, to the left and the right, and it helps to build muscle. So we've been doing that every day. So I think that helps. So the next part that people look at for body condition is up here in the withers. Now Firefly, I don't know how well you can see this, but he has no fat deposit here really at all. This is pretty hard and bony. I mean, he's got a little bit, but it's not a lot. His withers are pretty pronounced. It's hard to tell because he's got his winter coat. But yeah, so there's not any fat deposit around here. So that makes his body score go down, because he's supposed to have a decent amount of fat deposit here, and he has very little, if any. So that's another thing that they are looking for. And they're looking for fat deposits through here as well, behind the shoulder, which he has very little of, like I said. But you notice his shoulder here too, just because I'm showing him off a little. He's got a better muscle development down here in his shoulder and in his leg than he did when I first got him, which is part of the exercises we've been doing. He still has this big bony thing here. So we need to be working on beefing up his shoulder and neck. So yeah, so there's that. The other part of what they're looking for is here in the ribs. And like I said, you really can't tell because of his winter coat, but he's pooping and it's fabulous. Good boy. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to do that. So they're feeling and looking for ribs is the most obvious way to tell if a horse is underweight or not. Now for this guy here, you again can't tell because of his winter coat, but trust me when I tell you that you can feel his ribs without pressing. If I'm petting him like this, I can obviously feel his ribs. So that is a big factor. If you can feel ribs or if you can see the ribs without trying, or if you can feel them without pressing, that automatically makes their body score 4 or under. Because they should have enough fat padding here that you should be able to press lightly and feel them, but not see them. Now, Firefly looks a little, I'm going to trip, a little tubby. See, maybe you can see the ribs here. You can kind of see it with his hair. So his hair coat isn't great. That's why I added the sunflower seeds. But his belly kind of looks tubby here, like hay belly. Which I believe is worms, or having a wormy belly. I just treated him a couple days ago for worms. Actually gonna take a sample of that poop after this. So I did treat him for worms, so I think that's part of that. But another thing with horses who have kind of low-hanging bellies, a lot of times can be a lack of development in their top line, which I'll also talk about here in a minute. So if a horse doesn't have strong back muscles, they really can't hold their stomach in. It's kind of like having good posture as a human. If your back muscles aren't really strong, you might have a posture that makes your belly kind of stick out a little more than usual. So the same thing applies to horses. So he doesn't have any top line development, or I mean very little of it. Again, without his winter coat, you could see that his spine, there's not a lot of muscle development through here. So that's a big thing I'm working on too. Is top line exercises and stretches. to build up the muscle. Because a lot of times when horses can't, like I said, when they don't have the strength, they really can't actually hold their bellies up. So it makes them look a little tubby. I know, I called you tubby. I'm sorry. I love you. And then the last thing I'm talking about for body condition is the hindquarters and the tail head back here. So through here, horses who are in the healthy range should have a pretty decent... are you serious? Are you serious? Really? Again, like within 2 seconds. But that's fine. That's okay. So horses who are in the healthier brackets have a spongy kind of fat deposits around their tail head, right there in their, in their butt. So right through here, it's supposed to be a lot spongier. He has very little, it's bony back there. So that doesn't bode well for him. So based on all of these, I've given him a 4 on the scale. He's not quite a 3, but he's definitely not a 5. So we're working on it. But like I said, I added the new food, and I have added an exercise regimen for him. So what we're doing now, since I can only do groundwork, is we go out for walks, like how you do with your dog, which is helping me a lot too, because I'm actually down about 8 pounds, which, I'm trying to get, I'm a bigger rider. Okay, I'm trying to get to goal weight before he's rideable. That way I'm not a burden to him if I'm riding. So I take him out on the lead, and we have hills out here. So I walk him up and down the hills, and we trot up and down the hills. So I jog with him, and we just go up and down the hills and all of this stuff, which is good exercise. He actually, okay. He worked up a sweat today, which is good. So we do that, and we're lunging. So he's gotten really good with lunging. I can't get him up to a canter yet. We're not quite there yet, but we can do a trot comfortably. So we walk and trot on the lunge, and then I've set up little trotting poles, so I can walk and trot him over trotting poles, and that helps strengthen muscles in the back and hindquarters and neck. So all these things are exercises that I've been doing to keep up to bring up his body condition and to get muscle work on him and just to try to get him into a better fitness. But like I said, it's been helping me out too. I've dropped 8 pounds from where I was, which is a big deal. And I've been eating better, but anyways, the walking helps. So, I guess the last thing I'll say, if you look at the way he looks, you'll notice that his top line is actually not horrible. It's just a lack of development. But you'll notice from his withers up to here, he has a pretty decent line, and he, let me walk around this poop. Don't kick me. Good boy. So once he gets more muscle through here, he'll have a much more rounded out shape. So his top line will look a little bit better with a little more work. And then you'll notice too that his, if you guys have been watching the videos, his thigh here, or cat, his thigh here is not so hollow. Thigh. Hindquarters, but whatever, people, it's a thigh. So his thighs are a lot less hollow than they were, which is something else we're working on. So just more muscle development. But yeah, that's been what we've been doing with Firefly. And it's been really good. And he's just being a sweet boy. But more updates to come. I want to make a video of our lunging and our exercise, but I need a better camera setup. I can't be doing that with, I can't be filming myself. So unless I grab a friend to be my my film lackey, we'll see how it goes. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for saying hi. Say bye, Firefly. Bye to all the people. Bye-bye.